Today, President Trump and Elon Musk are back at it again, guys, making some amazing, huge moves to completely not only win a red wave in the midterms, but for the 2028 election, guys. This is massive. And they've already implemented the plan, hear me, guys, to replace Social Security. It's already been implemented. I'm going to show you the details. This is massive. It is a huge win for Republicans. Scott Bessent is out there just showing off just everything that's coming with that. SSI, SSDI for all Americans, guys. It's so genius. I'm going to show you the receipts in a moment. I'm going to show you all the math. But Trump and Elon Musk, Scott Bessent have worked not only to reduce fraud, but to replace Social Security in itself. And it is genius. Not only that, Elon Musk has reportedly contributed $15 million in overall to the president's super PAC and two groups backing Republican congressional candidates. So I guess the America Party is not coming, which again, too, it would make a big mess, but he is now back on supporting Trump and his people. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. One of the biggest wins ever, guys, that is just passed, and I'm telling you, the red wave is coming. The Texas House Redistricting Committee just passed the new map that adds 5 seats to the Republican U.S. House seats for 2026 for Republicans. They redid all the maps, guys, and it is massive. It's already passed. This is huge. So already going into 2026, because of the way that they're going to redo districts, the GOP is going to be up 5 seats in the House. And now, guys, again, the Social Security program is being replaced. It is like, this is huge. The new $1,000 baby accounts are going to replace the Social Security for the up-and-coming adults in the future, and their calculations are already showing that by giving a baby $1,000, letting it sit in an investment account for 65 years, by the time they turn 65, that will be worth almost $2 million. And I know we got a lot of people, guys, I wish they would have started this earlier, but this is when you get a businessman, you get a person like Scott Bessent, who is more focused on helping people out rather than building a slush fund that they can pull from like Social Security. This is completely going to change everything. It's going to replace Social Security. Like I said, this $1,000 sitting in an account for 65 years into the investment accounts that they're going to put it into, it's going to generate almost $2 million for that person by the time they turn 65, which essentially would give them about $246,000 a year. Talk about a win for Americans, guys. That is massive, massive wins. Not only that, guys, all the front, interest rates, the Jerome Powell, all that stuff is moving so rapidly. Federal Reserve Governor Kugler has resigned, and now Trump can fill that vacancy, and he can fill that vacancy with somebody that he wants, who the board can then overturn Jerome Powell and lower interest rates. The U.S. Office of Special Counsel is now investigating Jack Smith. They suspect he may have violated the Hatch Act. We have Christopher Wray, who has been referred to the DOJ over claims he misled lawmakers on the Catholic memo and China probes. And guys, this is massive. Oh my goodness, this is massive. The DOJ has just launched an investigation into voter rolls nationwide to ensure the purge of illegals, non-citizens, deed voters, and felons from the voter rolls, with 2 states that they're specifically hammering in on, and that is California and Minnesota, baby. And guys, I'm telling you, this is massive. Trump is doing everything that he can to push for a red wave. The Supreme Court right now is reviewing to ban race-based congressional district maps. I didn't even know this existed, but because there are places in the United States where it's predominantly white or black or Hispanic, they have the congressional districts to get House seats has put those into a cluster instead of just making them normal. Well, now the Supreme Court is hearing that, and they are moving to ban it so it would be more natural, more just non-DEI, non-race-based. What will this do? It would add essentially 20 seats to the Republican GOP. Guys, do y'all see, like, hear how massive this is? We got so much breaking news today. So much has already just been passed. And again, too, guys, not only is President Trump and Elon Musk back at it again because Elon Musk is now donated $15 million to Trump's super PAC for the midterms. Social Security is being replaced. Like, all this stuff is all genius business thinking. And guys, I'm so excited about today's show. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers and viewers. We couldn't do it without you. We are so thankful for your support. We just want to say, if you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family. Guys, we're going to bring it to you. We're going to bring you all the breaking news. We're going to serve you every day with all the facts, guys, all the receipts, and we're so excited for where this channel is going. I want to say thank you to all of our members of the channel, those that give a super chat donation. Guys, we couldn't do it without you. When you donate, you're not donating to me. You're donating to help support a local charity. And that's what I want this community to be about. So I want to say thank you to everybody that supports us. We're so grateful that we've been able to give so much money over the past 10 months since we started doing this, and I love it. And if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button. Like I said, today's a big show. Not only has the DOJ started the investigation into voter rolls nationwide, you've got Elon Musk and President Trump that are back at it again for the midterms. The new Social Security replacement has begun for the new baby accounts that, like I said, based upon the math, based upon what they're showing us, that the people that retire 65 years from now are basically going to have almost $2 million in an account waiting for them. Trump is a genius. He knows the Democrats have used Social Security for nefarious reasons, and he's ready to put America first and save money. So much breaking news today, guys. Let me know your thoughts. But what you're about to see is massive, because what Trump is doing with the immigration, removing illegals off of the voter rolls, removing them from getting Social Security and Medicare, it is working. Check this out. Guys, and this is massive. Look at this. This person has officially been ousted, and the Democrats are so mad right now. They said Trump is the wannabe king, but Democrats are so mad that Trump has ousted the Bureau of Labor and Statistics head because of all this fake jobs numbers. Remember with whenever it was under Biden, how they inflated all the numbers, and then years later, we actually lost almost 1 million jobs during the entire Biden administration. But during the Biden administration, they were saying, oh, all this record job growth, and it was for illegal aliens. That's why this person got fired. Trump is doing what he's supposed to be doing, guys. This is massive. And this is so powerful, guys, because again, too, if you don't fire anybody, then that means you're not holding anybody accountable. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, thank you so much for your support, guys, because again, too, Trump and Elon are back at it again. What I'm about to show you, there's so much winning going on. Check this out. Musk has donated $15 million to Trump GOP in June. And not only that, they just passed this, guys. This literally just passed this morning. The Texas House Redistricting Committee just passed the new map that adds up to 5 Republican U.S. House seats for 2026. This is exactly what we voted for. And again, we bring you the receipts, guys, because what we're showing you is what's coming in the midterms and how much it's making an impact of what Trump is doing.
Many of the jobs.
I have to tell you, everything that the Biden administration did was so fake, guys. It was so, and I'm bringing you the receipts, guys, and you're about to see it. But this is the thing. The Biden administration added 1.2 million jobs to the government, not the private sector. Not the actual, not something that would cost the taxpayers, okay? Because when it's for the federal government, the taxpayers pay for it. He added 1.2 million jobs, which means the overall payroll for the federal government, increasing the cost of the federal government. But yet, on the jobs report, he added the 1.2 million to the jobs report. So it looked like he was adding jobs because of the economy, but he was just adding it to the federal government, which again shows you it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. It looks good on paper, but in all actuality, it was fake. That's how bad things were, guys. And that's what you're about to see. And I'm just so happy that we actually have a president who knows how to run a dang business, growing the economy. Digging with Dawn, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. And Deanna Scott, thank you so much for your continued support. Y'all show Deanna Scott and Digging It with Dawn some love in the chat. This is so massive, and I told you, I like to layer in things with our show so that you get full context of what is actually going on and how powerful this is for a win for America. This is beautiful. Gina 3311, welcome to the family. Let's go. Y'all show Gina some love in the chat. The DOJ has just launched an investigation into voter rolls nationwide to ensure they're purged of illegals, non-citizens, deed voters, and felons. George Masalis, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. He said Biden conned our entire nation throughout his entire career 100%. Guys, what you're about to see next, again, it's the receipts of we've been living under a lie so much, and if people don't see this, they don't see the truth, and they will continue to vote the wrong way. Y'all show George some love in the chat, guys, because again, now that the DOJ has launched this investigation into all the voter rolls nationwide, it is going to change everything, guys. Listen to this.
Trump administration looking to boost election integrity as the DOJ opens a nationwide investigation into voter rolls. The department is calling on local officials to identify felons, dead voters, and also non-citizens who might have cast a ballot. David Spunt is live from Washington with more on this one. Hi, David.
Hi, Aisha. Good morning. Today, next week, the week after, and so on, DOJ officials will continue to work on what they call the department a serious problem with our voter rolls. This all stems from a March executive order signed by President Trump, which states in part, the Attorney General shall, consistent with applicable laws, coordinate with state attorneys general to assist with state-level review and prosecution of aliens unlawfully registered to vote or casting votes. Attorney General Pam Bondi has directed her team to check counties across the United States. But California is a big focus, as is Texas and Minnesota. The DOJ plans to prosecute any foreign nationals that get caught voting. A DOJ source tells Fox News election integrity starts with clean voter rolls. That's the foundation for secure elections.
Yes.
There's been a culture of noncompliance from several states that don't keep their rolls updated. This DOJ is cracking down. Now, the Justice Department wants local officials to identify and remove felons, dead voters, non-residents, and non-citizens from voter rolls. Recently, the department charged an Iraqi man for illegal voting in 2020 in the state of New York. Took several years to catch that one. Last year, a 19-year-old Chinese national was charged in Michigan with perjury and attempting to vote illegally in the 2024 election. Now, Aisha, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, took a big hand in stopping illegal voting. Even though Elon Musk no longer with that agency, DOGE itself still has a hand in this movement. Finding illegal voters will take time.
I told you guys, DOGE, Elon Musk, Trump are back at it again. They are working together to get things done. And this is massive, guys. So big, so powerful. I am so excited with what you're seeing, guys. Because again, too, these guys working together are more stronger than they are working apart. If you appreciate them coming back together, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Thank you so much, Gina, for the super chat. Let's go. Y'all show Gina some love in the chat, guys. Thank you so much for your support.
But the Justice Department is in regular contact with the White House about the latest progress fulfilling this executive order. Aisha.
Okay, David Spunt, live for us.
Guys, again, the investigations are being launched like left and right. I think in the next 3 to 6 months, that's when we're really going to start seeing all the arrests come into play. Because again, too, we're starting to hear from the inside of Bannon's team, Mike Davis, that they are literally saying all these Democrats are lawyering up, getting lawyers big time because of what is coming. And this is what we voted for. Transparency, holding people accountable. Guys, listen to this. This is so powerful.
I worked for Senator Chuck Grassley twice. I opened his mail right out of college, and then I was his chief counsel for nominations on the Senate Judiciary Committee 17 years later. I talked to Senator Grassley yesterday. I talked to him today. He is the same man He has been for 65 years in politics, and he's never lost an election. He is dogged, he is determined, he is principled, and when he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it, as we just saw with his release of these Crossfire hurricane records. When I've been coming on your show, Steve, and we've been talking about how the Mar-a-Lago raid was to get back these damning Crossfire hurricane records, and then the subsequent lawfare was to try to shut up, to bankrupt, to imprison, to even get President Trump killed. It's because of these Crossfire hurricane records. This is the biggest scandal in American history. And when I have been saying on your show with you for 3 years that these lawfare Democrats better lawyer up, this is what I mean by this. These records that are coming out show that President Obama, Vice President Biden, Hillary Clinton, the CIA, the Justice Department, including the FBI, they made up the Russian collusion hoax. They made it up to help Hillary Clinton's campaign and to destroy President Trump's campaign. And when they failed, they tried to destroy his presidency. When he declassified these Crossfire hurricane records and tried to get him out before he left office in 2021, they've tried to destroy him. This is all coming out. This is all an ongoing criminal conspiracy against rights, or at a minimum, much, much worse maybe, under 18 U.S.C. Section 241. I promise you that people are going to go to prison. So that's going to happen. Nobody is above the law.
Yes.
Presidential immunity for Obama may apply while he's in the White House. It certainly does not apply to President Obama when he's continuing to cover up a criminal conspiracy as the former president after he left the White House. And I think President Trump made a big mistake in his first term by not prosecuting Hillary Clinton. And I don't think they're going to make that mistake this time.
Ooh, guys. Man, it's coming, guys. I'm telling you. I love it. This is big. And again, too, guys, I want to show you because there's so much breaking news today. I want to say thank you so much, Deanna Scott, for gifting a TrueLife News membership. Let's go. Y'all show Deanna Scott some love in the chat, guys. Thank you so much. So, again, President Trump's $1,000 baby account, thanks to the One Big Beautiful Bill, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said doesn't replace Social Security. It supplements it. Let me tell you otherwise, because again, too, if they say they're replacing Social Security, there'll be a panic. But if you just let it happen, then it's going to happen and everybody will be okay. Look at this, $1,000, okay? In the account, this is a 401k calculator. So this is basically, it calculates what your money will be like with interest, with the investment. Guys, I told you I'll bring you the receipts of what actually is going on. But this is so powerful. If they put in the current age, 1 year old, what is in the balance? $1,000. They retire at age 65. You calculate it. They're going to have $1.4 million with an average expected annual return rate of 12%, which is what we've been hearing. The S&P 500 is what they're talking about. That's what it's kind of averaged over the past 50 years, 12%. They're going to have $1.4 million sitting for them in that account whenever they retire. They could, if they life expectancy was to 85, they could get $15,000 a month, $189,000 a year. Tell me Trump and Scott Bessent and all these guys are not geniuses. They know that Social Security is going to become insolvent the way that the Democrats have it. They're creating a better way, and this is it, guys. And that's what I love, is that I bring you the receipts. I show you what's actually going on. This is going to impact so many people, but it's going to give them time, and it's going to allow us to do what needs to be done for Social Security, for the Republicans, which will be a huge, huge win for everybody.
We're going to go to break. You know Grassley. You know how the reason Grassley...
Many of them on your show, Steve, and I know I'm crazy. I'll fully concede that, but I'm almost always right, and I know I'm right here.
Let's go.
You're in charge of confirmations. Last night, the energy at Butterworth, I think, even including the inauguration, it was probably the best event I've seen because of the level of people, senior people, but there were people getting confirmed. Trump's team is coming together. Mike Lee, Senator Mike Lee, the best constitutionalist, he's on here today, and he's saying, look, my plan is 150 guys. We stick around, we do it. But, and Semaphor's got what Thune wants to do, which is come back in October after they do the budget and have some of these marginal changes that we're going to take 2 hours away from this. That's not going to work. And Mike Lee said, hey, if we were in opposition, clearly you never go into recess, but we control the House, the Senate, and the executive branch. It would besmirch President Trump if we didn't actually work it out to go on to actually go in recess and let these be recess appointments. And then over the year, he says they would go all the way to 26, to the end of 26. And in that year or year and a half, you would work on actually taking through the confirmation process. Your thoughts about this, that you kind of ran this thing for us, sir?
I would say this, the Senate needs to end its French work week. It works 2.5 days a week, and then it goes home. They go into what's called pro forma sessions, and so they never really go into recess. And so it's hard to do these recess appointments if you don't go into recess. And then we're coming up on August recess, which is like a high holy month in Washington, D.C. And the problem is you have these Senate Democrats who are obstructing everything that President Trump is trying to do. They're not giving consent to routine things in the Senate. They're not giving unanimous consent or voice votes, remaining no objection, and just letting non-controversial nominees get confirmed. It used to be that U.S. attorneys would get confirmed by voice votes or unanimous consent. That has stopped happening. They're objecting to every one of these. So I would say this, you don't need to change these rules. You just need to keep the Senate working. And so you need, in order for Thune to do that, he needs 50 Senate Republicans to agree that they're going to, God forbid, work on a Friday, maybe a Saturday or Sunday, work through August recess, and then the Democrats' obstruction is meaningless. And so it's amazing how many judges and other nominees you can confirm by merely threatening to make the Senate work past 2 p.m. on Thursday. So that's what they need to do. Just make the Senate work, get 50 Senate Republicans to go along with this, and then we'll get these people confirmed. But the problem is if the Senate Republicans want to go home as well, so Thune can't get them to agree to stay in over the weekend, stay on a Friday, stay in over the weekends, stay in August recess and work. And so that's where the Article 3 Project steps up with the War Room Posse. If you go to article3project.org, article number 3project.org, and you click on Take Action, one of the action items is calling both of your home state senators, emailing them, tweeting at them, social media, and telling them to work, to stay in session and work and get these nominees confirmed. That's how you get through this obstruction. It's the top right one there. The top right, it says, tell the Senate to stay in session and confirm President Trump's nominees.
Guys, and this is so powerful because, again, too, it's what's coming up. And I know we're talking about the future, but next year, it'll be here before you know it, guys. And this is so insane. Look at this. Florida is no longer a purple state. It's fully red. Look at this. Democrats literally in the past month have lost 10,403 voters, and Republicans gained almost 1,000. Very, very red state. They've done past this, guys. The House Redistricting Committee just passed the new map that adds up to 5 Republican U.S. House seats for 2026. So all this that they're trying to do, the more judicial nominees they get confirmed for Trump, the more that they can fight against the judicial lawfare that's happening. And that's why we're showing you all this stuff. Again, too, it matters to get out there and vote in the midterms. It matters to confirm and hold these senators and accountable. And it's just mind-blowing that we're still fighting about this right now, even after everything that we've seen lawfare against Trump. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. It is so massive to see that Trump has 100% been able to overcome all this. But even when it comes to the Senate, even when it comes to the people that reportedly say that they're MAGA, they're still not doing their dang job, and everybody wants to take an extended vacation.
Their Codels, they're going to Greece to do, look at naval installations in the Greek islands. You know the deal. They're out of here. What is it? It's Thune's call. He's saying they don't trust President Trump. I understand if we're in opposition to Biden or if the Democrats control the Senate and they're in opposition. I got it. You don't go into recess or technical recess. You stay pro forma, and the reason is you don't want them to have free reign to do what they want to do on these appointments. What is the logic? Since and we've bombarded them and we'll continue to do it. They're not going to stick around. It's a high holy month and they're out of here. What is it about Thune just saying, okay, we're going to go into recess and have at it? Sir,
that's a good question. I have to go back and remember this. I think going into recess requires 60 votes in the Senate. They don't have 60 votes, obviously, but the issue is that just keep these people in session, right? Until it's like they want recess, but they haven't done their homework. They haven't earned recess. Recess is for kids, right? These senators need to do their job, and then they need to confirm President Trump's nominees. If they confirm President Trump's nominees, then like good kindergartners, they can go on recess.
Wow.
Okay, sir. We're going to continue to track this because tomorrow's supposed to be, today was supposed to be, but I think tomorrow's going to be the last day. We still got time to make calls. Go to Bill Blaster, Article 3. Let's light people up. You're having an impact. I know we're having an impact because we've got great news coming out of Texas that we're going to get Harrison up here as soon as we can. Mike Davis, last thing, Jeff Clark, the great warrior, he was there last night doing a magnificent job. But they're still coming. I tell people, hey, if you think this fight's over, you couldn't be farther from the truth. If Hakeem Jeffries, if we don't get those seats in Texas and in Florida and Hakeem Jeffries becomes speaker, impeachment's going to roll, indictment's going to roll. They're just trying to destroy Rudy Giuliani and Jeff Clark even as we speak. What happened to Jeff Clark today? And when Mike Davis puts out a tweet saying, okay, time to go to war, what do you mean?
I said this is BS, and I didn't use BS. I used a more Mike Davis term for it, and I said this is time to go to war. What they're doing to Jeff Clark is un-American. He was a Justice Department official. He drafted a legal memorandum, a legal recommendation that he did not even send. He merely drafted it. Now the D.C. bar, a bunch of left-wing radicals on the D.C. bar are now disbarring Jeff Clark from the practice of law. He is a senior official right now in the White House Office of Management and Budget. It's called the Office of OIRA, Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs. And it's his job to be the traffic cop for regulations across the government. It is stunning that the D.C. bar is continuing to go after Jeff Clark. And so I know that Pam Bondi and her Justice Department are looking at right now all the steps that they can take to protect and defend Jeff Clark, including filing whatever needs to be filed with the D.C. bar, maybe reimbursing Jeff Clark for legal fees because they tried to bankrupt him as part of his official duties in the Trump 45 Justice Department. The Democrats did during 4 years of lawfare. This is not the old Republican Party. This is the Trump Party. We're not going to leave dead allies on the side of the road like Jeff Clark. That's not going to happen. And we're going to exact painful revenge for this.
Guys, this is, and again, nobody's playing around. This right here that took place, I just want to show you guys. This right here that took place, Biden's border, Trump's border, this right here happened because a president put America last. Look at this. Look at Trump's border check this out. Trump's border compared to Biden's border. There's no comparison, guys. And not only that, in the past 3 months, May, June, July, no border crossees. And again, this is why this is so important. The Texas House just passed the new map. The old map, 25 Republicans, 13 Democrats. Now the new map, 30 Republicans and 8 Democrats. A huge, huge win for the Republican Party, guys. So massive. And again, they're wanting to win more seats. You just had Musk donated $15 million to Trump in June. Guys, the band is back together. This is beautiful. Gina, thank you so much for gifting 10 TrueLife News memberships. Let's go. Guys, show Gina some love in the chat. Such a blessing. Guys, I love it. OG of the channel. Show Gina some love in the chat if you got a free membership from her. This is so great. I love it. Things are working out, and it's literally so good for everybody right now. And even too, guys, with what we're seeing across the board, People are being held accountable like never before when it comes to the corruption in D.C. Check this out.
Can I ask you about a current issue among your colleagues here? And that has to do with stock trading for members of Congress. Josh Hawley, Republican, supports the idea to ban it. And we just heard from Senator Tuberville of Alabama that he's not okay with that approach. Where do you stand on the matter?
Well, a couple things. One, I've got a chance to read Mr. Hawley's bill, and I think there's a similar bill in the House. I think the bill needs to be amended, and the reason why is that you have a lot of members on the Hill, myself included, who do not personally trade securities. We do have brokers who have trading authority, and I think this is important for the American people to understand. I'm gonna talk personally. I have a trading account. It's my IRA. I have stocks in that portfolio. They are individual securities. My broker has trading authority. I could call in and make trades, but I do not do that. And if you check the notes of my broker, they would tell you he does not call in and initiate trades. As somebody who was in the industry, that's how we talk about it in the financial world, initiating the trade. So I think there has to be a blanket ban on members and their spouses or independent children initiating trades. But if you have a broker who has trading authority and they trade on your behalf, I think that's perfectly fine. If you want to do the blind trusting, okay, but my question is who's going to pay for it? If you're going to make a member sell their securities like myself, am I not responsible for paying the taxes on that? I think that's the piece that Mr. Tuberville was talking about. Not every member of Congress is rich. Like, I'm not rich. And if you do this job right, you actually lose money in the whole deal.
But there are, really quickly, there are those that are very wealthy, and you can point to where the money is made. I'm curious, in your opinion, do you believe that there is or was insider trading happening with members of Congress?
I'm telling you guys.
Oh, yeah, I do. I think Nancy Pelosi obviously is the one everybody likes to talk about. There are others, and that's why I'm saying if you want to take the Hawley bill as a starting point, that's fine. I think for members like myself who have brokers, where the brokers have express trading authority and they trade on behalf of a member of Congress, I think that's fine because you don't have the member giving information to the broker, and that's the key thing. So I think that piece is fine. That should be allowed. Everything else is fine. If you want to raise the penalties, raise the penalties. I'm all for that because members should not be initiating trades, period. I don't initiate trades. I don't think members should. And I think there has to be a very clear penalty structure around that. And I would also add, and again, I spent 5.5 years in the investments industry, so I'm telling you from personal knowledge. Every broker that writes a trade, they have to write notes based upon how that trade is executed, whether the broker provides the information or whether the client provides the information. I think for members of Congress, the notes from their brokers should be given, quite frankly, to the Ethics Committee to hold in the event that there has to be some formal investigation. So I think there's ways to do this, but as a member of Congress to take away, frankly, their constitutional rights to own assets, I don't think that's the end all be all of how this should be done. I get it. Nobody wants Pelosi or anybody else making millions of dollars on insider information. That is wrong. That should be blocked. But members of Congress also should not have the ability to own assets taken away from them simply because Nancy Pelosi and others have just a very low ethical standard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some nuance to it, clearly. So we'll keep track of what'll.
Guys, I'm telling you, it's like I feel like nobody's holding back anymore when it comes to what people say. And even CNN, guys, I have to show you this because it's so mind-blowing. This is one of the most savage, just blatant smack to the face of the Democratic Party for what they did, how they lied to the American people, and it's on CNN. Guys, let me know your thoughts if you appreciate this. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Thank you so much for your support. This is so hilarious, guys, because I promise you, we would never have imagined to see this ever. Check this out.
Can't possibly believe that someone who was Attorney General for a good period of time, a United States Senator for a good period of time, and then Vice President for 4 years, and then ran for President, all of a sudden believes that the best way to solve it is from being outside the system. Oh, please. Not a chance on God's green earth that that's necessarily the case. What's probably going on is she saw what the polling numbers were, perhaps, for her running for governor of California. Yes, she has left open the idea that maybe she could run in 2028 for the Democratic nomination. But I'll tell you, Abby, I've looked at those numbers. She would be the weakest front runner since 1992. So the bottom line is this. She's looking at the numbers. She knows what's cooking. And then all of a sudden, you know what? Actually, this lifelong politician, I want to be outside the system. Give me a break.
God, they just literally let Kamala Harris have it. Guys, I'm telling you, this was the same person who they said was going to be the savior for the for America. She was put in, and it just blows my mind that they're talking like about her like they are now, when she was supposedly going to save America. A bunch of load of you know what. Surgical Wizard, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said President Trump has nuclear submarines by Russia from the threat that the former president made against the U.S. 100%. Yup, y'all show Surgical Wizard some love in the chat. Trump ain't playing around, guys. And again, whether something happens or not, he's flexing that he's not afraid to do what needs to be done to protect America. Listen to this.
These new emails, Mr. President, suggest essentially that Hillary Clinton personally approved the Russia hoax.
With Obama?
With Barack Obama. And my question is she finally going to pay for what she did, or does she get a pass again?
Ooh. So, you know, we had her, and I had her right under the sights, and I told the people, look, you can't do this to a president's wife, an ex-president, and she was Secretary of State, right. But you can't do this to the wife of a president. And if you remember, well, I'll tell you how I feel about it in a second. If you remember, I was at a rally, and it was after the election, and they said, lock her up, and I said, no, look, we won, just relax. And I didn't do what other people would have done, what they would have done. And then they went after me, and they meant it. I said, you know, it's amazing. I always felt that you shouldn't be doing this stuff, and I let Hillary off the hook. I totally left her off the hook. And then I let her off the hook for what? And then I come in, and they did the same thing to me. The difference is they actually meant it. And they hurt a lot of people, and it was all a hoax. And now they have it in black and white. No, I think they should pay a price.
How directly?
By the way, it's a very big price. It could be the biggest scandal in the history of our country, but it continues onward. And that continues onward. You know, that scandal has continued from the beginning. They have everything they do is a hoax. They're no good at anything other than some forms of nasty politics.
I think how much it hurt you in your first term. And I think about these names, Brennan, Comey, Clapper.
The worst.
Hillary Clinton.
All bad.
How directly do you think Barack Obama was involved?
Totally. He knew about it.
This.
We have it cold. He has it in writing. It's all, he said, you could almost say that he was almost more the mastermind. He heard what she was doing, and then he approved it. And when and not only approved it, he approved it and pushed it. And they knew it was fake. They knew the Russia thing was fake. I'm not great with Russia. I was tougher on Russia. Don't forget the pipeline. I was the one that ended the Russian pipeline. Nobody ever even knew they were building a pipeline. I ended it. So, and when Biden came in, by the way, one of the first things he did was approve it. I had it ended. Now, that was the biggest economic development job they've ever done. That was going to all over Europe, and I ended it. No, I was the opposite. And I'll tell you what, for that to have gone on, it's one of the great scandals, I think, in the history of our country. I know it is.
Are you
Guys,
willing?
And again, like we show you all the receipts of what's actually happening all around the news cycle. President Trump says he wants Hillary Clinton investigated for election fraud. They 100%, this is from the leading report, guys, this is big stuff, that everything that they said Trump was doing, they were doing. All the fake news that Trump said was fake was fake. All the stuff that he said was real was real. And we're literally seeing it like in real time. It is crazy to think how much we are actually getting to experience of justice of not at the DOJ yet. They're still working on it. They still got their investigations going. but I'm talking about at the actual the average human's perception of Donald Trump in the lawfare, the DOJ, the FBI, the CIA, even this right here. They got the person who was the top level, sorry guys. Former Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle, this was the person in charge when President Trump got shot, oversaw the agency during the assassination attempt on President Trump, has had her top-level security clearance renewal denied. Guys, there's too many snakes. There's too many people that have lied. There's too many people that have 100% taken advantage of the system and people. And now they're finally being held accountable. But guess what? You're being kicked out. We don't need you here anymore. Deborah Gomez, thank you so much for the super chat. Said Martha Stewart went to prison, so should Pelosi. I think everything that we've seen makes no sense. They need to do the investigations, find it out. They find the corruption, send their butts to jail. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
To take this all the way to indictments?
Well, it's up to Pam Bondi, who's doing a terrific job, and she'll have to work with law enforcement to see what she wants to do. And I'm not giving her advice one way or the other.
Okay.
I can tell you, though, I read like you read, and I read things that are unbelievable that just came out yesterday.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Now, they've been coming out over the last number of months.
Right.
But what came out over the last few days?
Some breaking news today. The jobs numbers came out this morning. I guess they were lower than expected. But you've announced that you're firing your a Biden appointee, the head of the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Her name, Dr. Erica McIntarfer. Tell us about what was going on here.
Well, it's a Biden appointee, and we've had problems in the past, and we had problems even before the election. You remember those wonderful results that were put out just before the election? And everybody said, where do they come from? Then I think they adjusted it after the election. And we had some difficulties with her, and there have been a lot of questions, and we fired her because we didn't believe the numbers today. Even though interest rates are too high, we have a terrible head of the Fed. He keeps interest rates too high. And I could understand that, but I don't believe those numbers. I think because we're doing so well. And we fired her. This is not something from just now. This was before the election where she got, meaning Kamala, we thought it was Biden, but turned out being Kamala, where they got very, very strong numbers. I said, what's this all about? And they adjusted them, and then later on they adjust them, I guess, downward. But we don't want that. We want straight numbers. I was thinking this morning when I saw the numbers, I said, who makes these numbers anyway? I never gave it much thought other than before the election, but it didn't work out too well. For them, I won the election. So maybe people don't believe it or whatever. But I was saying to myself, I wonder who does this. And when I checked, I said, this person is very suspect to me. So
So the accusation is this person was essentially cooking the books and the numbers are not accurate.
Well, I think there's some strange things going on because just before the election, they came out with these great numbers. And I said, I don't believe those numbers. They weren't good. And then I believe they had to do some correcting a little bit after the election. But no.
Just think about it, guys. Not only did they revise the job numbers and cook the books for the job numbers, not only did they lower interest rates right before the presidential election, not only did they try to put Trump in jail, like all this stuff was to try to keep one guy from being president. Like, that just shows you how deep the state is, guys. It's so bad. And again, too, I have to show you this because this is one of the most successful things that is going to hit the United States ever, guys. President Trump's baby account, $1,000 baby account, it's going to replace Social Security. Scott Bessent says it's going to supplement it, but the other stuff that I'm seeing is it's going to replace it. Like, everybody's always talking about, we got to increase Social Security, we got to take care of our seniors, and nobody's been able to figure out a good way because we have people that live on Social Security $1,200 a month. That's how much the government pays. If by putting this $1,000 into an account the S&P 500, and over the past 30 to 50 years, the average interest rate of return, if you put it in when they're age 1 and they retire when they're age 65, look, guys, I'm calculating. They're going to have $1.4 million waiting for them when they retire. If they had a life expectancy to 85, they could get $15,500 a month. Would this not change everything? Would this not change everybody's life? Like this type of stuff, this type of genius investment that is what Trump is doing, putting forth, thinking about the future, and doing it in a way where we're not going to create a slush fund like what they've done with the actual Social Security system, where they gave 4 million illegals Social Security numbers who then got Medicare benefits, Medicaid, food stamps, housing assistance, cell phones. This right here is going to be the new normal for those that retire with Trump's baby account. That's why it's going to be so successful. It's all right here, guys. $1,000. They put in an investment, age 1, retire at age 65, 12% annual return. Calculate it. Look, if it's 13% return, they get $2.4 million average. If it's an average 12% return, which is what they're expecting, they're going to get $1.4 million. Everybody can go and do this for themselves. That's how genius Trump is with Scott Bessent on making sure that Americans are always going to win. And what I love too, guys, is again too, you can't deny the numbers. The numbers are what they are. And now everybody is starting to see the fakeness of the Democrats and what Jerome Powell is doing, and everybody's calling them out. Listen to this.
First half of the year, and this is the case I had made if anybody's sitting at the Fed table. For the first half of the year, core GDP was up only 0.9% at an annual rate. So it's softer. I would say to you the economy is a bit weak.
You heard it here earlier in the week. Keep an eye on the jobs market. And according to new data today, that was pretty good advice. The July labor report revealing America added just 73,000 jobs last month, lower than expected. And take a look at these revisions from June and May. Over 250,000 less than originally reported. President taking a True Social saying the Federal Reserve better wake up. Powell is a disaster. Drop the rate. That's probably the nicest thing he said about Powell today. Okay, Gary, we don't have any tequila on set for you, so no drinks, but you're going to have to opine on what's going on here with the jobs picture and the Fed and how it all rolls together.
Well, the president's 100% right, and here's the stunning part. On Wednesday, Jay Powell had these numbers. These revisions are happening. My little sampling of the economy, it is slowing. I have a nice little radio show where I ask people to email me on what's happening in their businesses and in their cities, and there's a slowdown going on. For the life of me, why he's not a half point lower right now and why he didn't cut this week, I just don't get it. And I know people saying it's political. I just think, I don't think he really knows what he's doing. They have like, I think 200 analysts. I'm just one person. I see it. They have 200 analysts. I just
think
don't
they might even have twice that, but who cares?
Right. The president's 100% right. No, he shouldn't be 1%. That'll import inflation again if you go too far. But definitely be a half point lower, 3/4 point lower, and it will not kill anything. It will not destroy the world.
Guys, you know that it's rigged whenever you see this screen right here, guys. We show you the receipts. We show you what's actually going on, guys. Switzerland at 0.25% interest rates. Japan at 0.5%. Eurozone 2%. Canada 2.75%. China 3.1%. Why is the United States at 4.5%? Like, this is insane. This is holding back the economy. It's holding back people buying houses, buying homes, getting loans, investments. This right here just shows you that who we have is not competent.
It will not create massive inflation.
And guys, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, we just want to show you everything right now. So much is going on.
I just don't get it.
You know, Jackie, when you think about what he and others at the Fed know going into those meetings, and particularly when you look at this jobs data. And I mean, it's dang soft. Larry was right.
Yeah.
it is hard to explain. Frankly, everyone is complaining about no cut in July. But if you look at this stuff, you're thinking, well, why were these guys so off base? I mean, what about June? Maybe they should have been doing it in June. So too late might not even go far enough at this point.
It might not, but he's got a problem, Jerome Powell, generally with lateness. And it's really about doing your job. It's not about who is commander-in-chief. We were talking about him being too late when it came to 9% inflation under Joe Biden and what his intent was there. I think his intent was to try to help Joe Biden, which is why he said it was transitory, didn't act. He realized, and so did Janet Yellen, that they made a big blunder that hurt the American people. And so to go and now be too late again because you're trying to go after Trump or because you feel like if you cut at this meeting, it would look like he was pressuring you. It's not about the pressure. It's not about his Truth Social posts. It's about the data. And so you bring up the jobs numbers. Yep. Larry was talking in that soundbite about the GDP. There is a potential concern about tariffs here. To Gary's point, if he had dropped rates, say 75 basis points, 25, 25, 25, and sprinkled it in, he always has the opportunity. Nobody is going to jump on you if you got it wrong or new data materializes and all of a sudden you need to raise again. But just sitting back and being idle is really just being ineffective. It's being political, and it's not doing your job. And that's the biggest problem that I have with this. We can talk about Fed independence. We could talk about the markers that they should be looking at and that things should change. But be independent. Look at the data. There were 2 dissenters that felt really strongly in that last decision saying he's not doing the right thing. Taylor always rightly brings up, it's not only his vote that matters. He doesn't make the final decision. They all do. Yep. You had 2 people there saying you should be cutting now.
The rest would have fell in line.
And again, too, we just want to show you that one of the persons from the Federal Reserve Governor, Kugler, has resigned. This is big, guys. This is effective the 8th, so in a couple of days. But this just shows you the pressure is coming in. The leadership of Federal Chairman Jerome Powell, people don't want to be a part of it because this is hurting Americans. It is affecting everybody from businesses to average Americans. But this just shows you Adriana D. Kugler submits resignation as a member of the Federal Reserve Board. This is big, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments because, again, too, whatever they say, it's 100% political right now. And this just shows you Trump's going to keep putting the pressure on to make sure that Americans are put first.
He was for the cuts. I will promise.
Well,
that.
and those 2 are Michelle Bowman and Christopher Waller, and they actually published their reasoning for that this morning before we got the jobs number. And Madison, what they basically say is the tariff price hike, to the extent we see it, will be a one-time thing. You should look through to the underlying economic data, particularly jobs, and they have not liked what they've seen on the jobs front, which is why they're rate cutters. Apparently that was not persuasive to anybody but the 2 of them at the Fed.
Right, I know. And now we're seeing these revised job numbers, and it seems like there's a bit of consensus, at least at this desk, that that should be a sign that this is a weakening, a soft economy. Something needs to be done. And then I know, from my perspective, I spend most of my days out on the streets, talking to businesses, talking to people, and I cover AI. So you have the tariff story, and you also have the AI story. So all these companies are investing a ton of money in AI. But AI is already starting to disrupt the workforce. You're starting to see either loss of jobs or companies not hiring, which I think is in part because of uncertainty around tariffs, but I also think it's in part because they're putting their expenditures towards those investments and they don't know how AI is going to change their workforce, what workers they're going to need, and where they want to put more money. So all of this is happening. You go out and you talk to people and you hear it. It's confusing to me how these Fed governors are not also taking that data and making the decision. Seeing this revision today, knowing that they didn't cut rates, it's surprising. I don't know what else to say.
Now, Natalie, I know you're no fan of the Fed. That's why you love crypto, because you hate all of the shenanigans around this. You hate the decisions they make. You hate the control they have in the economy. But just stepping back, we have a Fed for now, right? We have these jobs numbers, and you do need them when they have their hands on the levers of control. You need them to do a good job. From your standpoint, have they blown it? And, there's some people out there saying, they've blown it so badly, they shouldn't wait until September to meet again. I don't know. Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, you should see what the Bitcoiners tweet about the Fed. I think that this
You might have to sanitize that a little bit for us, okay?
I think this jobs report does lend support to what Trump is requesting of the Fed, but I also think that this moment really does show us how much power we've concentrated in the hands of a few unelected officials at the Fed.
Bingo.
This system is it's political, it's centralized, it's ultimately fragile. I don't think interest rates should be decided in back rooms and in press conferences. They should be set by a truly free market, and that's why I think ultimately this is all a massive billboard for Bitcoin, because you have a monetary policy that is fixed, that is transparent, and it's enforced by code, not by politics.
Can I just tell you?
You seem like you want to weigh in.
I agree 1,000% on that. It has to be watched right now. The transport stocks are rolling over, falling off a ledge this week. That's number one. Those are the movers of everything. The restaurant stocks are starting to get hit. Chipotle just got whacked to the downside.
Oh, Brian.
You don't have to tell me, Gary.
Starbucks,
we know that.
Starbucks, where a new CEO, I don't think he knows, is getting it right. The restaurants are getting hit. Watch the retail stocks. If all these consumer areas start to get hit, it's going to tell you something about the consumer. If the consumer gets in trouble, watch GDP go negative. And then Jay Powell, 3 months later, we better lower rates now.
Right.
Guys, too late, it's again, too, this is why it's super important. Trump, this is what I'm seeing on the back end, guys. This is why this is so important. George Masalis, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. God bless President Donald J. Trump. America is back. I love it. Y'all show George some love in the chat. Guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. Right here, the Texas House Redistricting Committee just passed the new map, adding 5 additional seats to the House. You get enough seats in the House and you get enough seats in the Senate, then you don't have to negotiate with the Democrats. You can get things done. And that's why, even with this right here, Trump donates $15 million overall in June to the president's super PAC in 2 groups backing Republican congressional candidates. Because if you get enough seats, then you can bring some real change, guys, and real accountability. Because everything that's out right now, all the smoking guns, everything that we've seen thus far, nothing gets done if you don't have the right people in place. This is huge. Check this out.
Alina Habba is the acting U.S. Attorney for New Jersey and joins us now. Alina, good to have you back. Your reaction to what we're learning as this all continues to come out?
Glad that there's going to be transparency. That's obviously what this administration is about. We've been hearing about this for a very, very long time, and I think the American public wanted to know whether this was in fact true and what the extent of it is. Obviously, I work for the Department of Justice, and with an active investigation and things of this nature, I can't speak to the details, but I would refer you back to what we had said prior and what we had believed to be true, which now we are seeing. Thank you to ODNI, to Tulsi Gabbard and her team for giving the American people some visuals on what happened then.
Yeah, and Gabbard revealing that a whistleblower came forward saying that they were threatened to go along with the Obama-directed Russia hoax intelligence assessment, which, I mean, you're just starting to see all of this kind of come together. But, I mean, you got a whistleblower saying that they were threatened, that, to go along because Obama ordered basically different intelligence, didn't like the idea that the belief was that Russia wasn't picking a side, that they were just screwing with an election, wanted a better version that was more politically palatable to what their aims were, and then they're threatening people to go along with it?
Yeah, that's not the way we run our country, and that's most certainly not the way this administration runs things. The Department of Justice is restoring faith intentionally, and I know that for the American people that can create frustration because they don't see and hear everything, but you have to be patient. We are looking, as Pam Bondi has said 1 million times over, and we will reveal things as we can, declassify things as we should, and as is appropriate. But there are laws and there are rules. And if this turns out to be true, it's no question, as we are seeing all of these documents coming forth that they found, it's highly concerning for the American people and the integrity of our voting, the integrity of our elections, the integrity of our Constitution, and the way that the country is supposed to operate, what makes us different than third world countries.
Yeah, it certainly is. You've had a pretty wild few weeks, and I want to talk about that for a second, moving away from this. You were appointed the acting U.S. Attorney for New Jersey a while back. The Democrat senators in your state basically blackballing you with this blue slip process, and then your replacement was nominated by these federal judges in your state that are all leaning one direction. We know that. That nomination, Trump immediately and the administration fires her. And then you get reappointed.
Yeah.
Do I have it right? And tell us how it's going.
Yeah, some language is a little bit tricky. I was the interim U.S. attorney, and then I was made the nominee, the president's pick for the U.S. attorney for New Jersey. And there is this tradition, and it is being used, frankly, inappropriately, which is that the home senators get the courtesy of a blue slip tradition so that you can then go through the vetting process in front of Senate, in which case Cory Booker and Andy Kim could have voted no, right? That doesn't mean it's a yes to say you go in front of Senate. It means it's a courtesy. It's not a law. They have abused it. We're seeing it all over the country right now. In New York, we're seeing it in California, we're seeing it in New Jersey, we're seeing it across the board, and the president truthed about it. It's incredibly concerning. Now, I would like to say for my particular instance, I have never once spoken to Cory Booker or Andy Kim. They have not so much as entertained a meeting with me, although I asked numerous times. I've never met Hakeem Jeffries, and that is not the way we're supposed to work. It should not matter what your politics are, because this is truly the evidence of political, we're seeing Cory Booker get up and screaming at his party that we need to not bend a knee. The Department of Justice has nothing to do with politics. What we have to do with is justice, is law and order. So using...
And guys, I want to show you real quick what she's talking about. All this stuff that's happening, look at this right here. The same people that are supposed to hold people accountable. Jack Smith under investigation for playing politics with Trump prosecutions. So this guy right here, again, they keep bringing the politics into it. Weaponized the justice system and went after Trump himself. Now he is under investigation. Jack Smith is officially under investigation. They say he violated the Hatch Act by timing prosecutions to hurt Trump's 2024 campaign. He said Jack Smith's actions were clearly driven to hurt President Trump's election, and Smith could be held fully accountable. And not just him. You remember this guy? I'm telling you, all this stuff is coming. Pamela Conley, thank you so much for the super chat. Said Powell is undermining Trump because he hates him. He has made that very clear why he hasn't replaced when Trump got into office. Trump needs to fire him now. 100%. Get a new person in that is MAGA first. Y'all show Pamela some love in the chat. But even with this too, guys, former FBI director referred to the DOJ for lying about the Catholic memos. This is the thing. A watchdog has referred former FBI Director Christopher Wray to the Justice Department for calling for a criminal probe. They say Wray lied to Congress about FBI memos targeting Catholics and terror threats and downplayed Chinese operation to flood fake IDs before the 2020 election. Guys, I'm telling you, right now it's taken essentially 5 to 6 months to get investigations started. In the next 3 to 6 months, I expect there will be massive arrest. Hopefully that's what we see, but listen to what Alina Habba says, because again, too, guys, Trump, if he doesn't take them out now and set the example now, they're gonna come after him again, because they put Trump in jail. They indicted him, and they did everything. What has the Republican side done? What has the GOP side done? Nothing.
A process like this, politicizing it, it's wrong. And the president has the right, as does Pam Bondi, to pick the U.S. attorneys for every state. Obviously, elections have They have consequences. And, whatever the hits that I've taken over the last few weeks, I'm honestly proud to be sitting in this seat. Yes, I am the acting U.S. attorney. And no, the judges at that point did not have any rights to try and oust me. I was not even expired in my term yet, actually. So it was a strange set of facts, but...
Yeah. Dirty politics in a blue state that's turning more and more purple and maybe red at some point. The state of New Jersey is getting more conservative by the day as the politics change. So, but Alina Habba, thanks for coming.
Guys, and again, I'm bringing all the receipts today because all this stuff is just breaking news. The Supreme Court is set to consider ending Democrats' race-based gerrymandering schemes used to draw voting districts based on race, and in a case that could eliminate dozens, guys, of Democrat-held seats and give Republicans a major edge in future elections. I told you. I'm telling you, all this stuff is happening, guys. We are bringing the receipts. Not only have we just gained 5 seats in Texas, if the Supreme Court moves forward and ends this race-based districts, dozens, over 20 seats could be added to the GOP in the midterms. This would be a massive, massive red wave like no other. And then again, too, you couple that with getting a 60-seat majority in the midterms, Trump could get done anything that needs to be done to put America first, guys. That's what we voted for, and that's what we want. Pamela Connolly, thank you so much for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. Let's go. Guys, if you got a free membership from Pamela, show her some love in the chat. This is beautiful. I love it. We are seeing so much winning and change right now. This is what we voted for, guys. I love it. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. I want to say thank you to everybody that is a member of the channel. Those that are watching, if you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button, joining our family, guys. We just want to serve you every day with the top news. So much is going on. And it's mind-blowing that we're finally getting justice across the board with not only the congressional seats, people are being called out, the insider trading, getting to make sure the Social Security is going to be solvent, taking care of Medicare, Medicaid, guys, fixing the voter rolls. The list keeps going of all the winning. I love it. Just want to say thank you so much to everybody that is given today, guys. Y'all are so amazing. Thank you for helping us in our giving to local charities. Want to give some special love to Deanna Scott. Thank you so much. Gina, George Masalis. Thank you so much, Gina, for gifting 10 TrueLife News memberships. Surgical Wizard, Deborah Gomez, George Masalis, Pamela Connolly, and also for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. Guys, show them some love in the chat. Thank you for liking our videos, sharing our videos. We're here to serve you. We love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.